Hi, welcome to my channel.
Yo, I'm sorry. What is this floating on the right side of my screen? It's like dust, but I don't know where it came from. I don't like it. It makes me very uncomfy. Okay, on with the video. Thank you.
Hi, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Cedric. I'm an actor, a filmmaker, a screenwriter.
Hey, I'm Kenny!
And
Football!
I'm a
Hey, yeah!
BTS fan. As you can probably tell, I am Army. And while they've been on their hiatus doing their military service, I have been exploring some of their solo work. Turns out BTS weren't the only people on hiatus. Am I right? I really want to apologize for how long it's been. Legitimately, when I filmed this reaction, it was a few months ago, okay? And I even started editing this video and apologized for how long it had been since I filmed it, and it has been a minute since then. This just might be the way that the channel goes from here on now that things have kind of picked back up. I know I started this channel during the pandemic. I appreciate all of your patience. I still want to do YouTube. I still want to make these videos, but my career, acting, writing, directing, that has to obviously take precedence. I appreciate all of your understanding and support. As I do that, I'm still exploring ways to make this channel a constant and something that I can do and keep up with. So I'm exploring all of those things, but I just want to thank you all for your support and your understanding, and I hope you enjoy this video, and there's more stuff coming soon. Sorry it's been so long. Also, I'm joining the cast of the hit podcast Murphy for season 2. This is a narrative fantasy podcast that I loved season 1 of. I'm so excited to be joining season 2 in a role that I cannot say anything about yet, but please go check that out. It is wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to season 1. Season 2 is coming soon. Also, just as a reminder, I'm doing the musical Anastasia with the Alluvion Stage Company in Lynchburg, Virginia this September. There's information on that in the pinned comment. It'd be great if you could come see the show. I'm playing Gleb. If you're familiar with the show, it's a great role. And I'll have another casting announcement coming out soon that I'm excited to share with you all, so keep your eyes posted for that. Okay, here's the video. And I have been doing so slowly, and I want to thank you all for your patience with me as I've been very, very busy. I do have an analysis of V's Rainy Days coming out very, very soon. I actually shot it like a while ago while I was in Albuquerque doing the musical Something Rotten, but then I came back here and had some stuff that I can't talk about that I had to work on because it's not public info yet. It's very exciting. I had to do that, and then I went to North Carolina to do a play called Butterflies Are Free with Morgan Fairchild and Stephen Shore and Morgan Lee Davis, and it was great, and I loved doing that. And then I came back here, and then I was like, oh, I should do some YouTube videos, and I was like, oh, I never did that YouTube video. All that to say, that'll be out soon. So, cool. But in the meantime, this is a brand new video. I just happened to see it when I was opening up YouTube. And I was like, yeah, why not? Let's analyze this bad boy. Before we do that, though, I want to say thank you to my patrons on Patreon. Thank you so much, as always, for your support. You know a little bit more about some of the stuff I'm working on, and I just want to thank you for supporting me as I do my auditions and have my meetings and fly all over the place and drink a lot of coffee. Which is a reminder to everyone to stay hydrated. Drink some water. Everyone watching this, drink some water if you can. I'm not gonna drink that whole thing. I did that once on a dare. It did not feel good. That was a lot of water to drink at once. Thank you to those of you who have watched The Coroner's Assistant. I'm super proud of this show. Obviously, I've talked about it being nominated for 2 Astra Awards, but we were just nominated for 11 awards at the Indie Series Awards, including my nomination for Best Leading Actor in a Comedy, which is a great honor. There's a lot of good nominees for it, and the show was nominated for 11, including my castmates, Georgie and Jeremy, who are wonderful, and I'm so proud of them. They deserve their nominations. I don't know if I do, but I'm really proud of this show, and I'm excited to go to the ceremony and support this thing. And to all of you who have watched it, thank you so much. And if you haven't, please check it out. We are trying to make season 2, and the more people that watch it, the more people that love it, the more people that talk about it, the more likely we are to be able to continue exploring the misadventures of this weird little world we've made, and I really want to do that. So please, if you can, check it out. Okay, let's go ahead and jump in on this. This is V Friends Ends. Friends Ends and Friends. All right. Big hit, music. Okay, let's talk visual language so far. A lot of center framing, totally static camera, kind of wider angles. We're seeing the entirety of his world. It's shrinking down his world, right? So in his apartment, we see the walls. We see that he's, sitting in his bathtub brushing his teeth. We see that he's got this big window behind his bed, but it's covered up. It's all tan and brown, and then he's wearing blue. So there's this muted color scheme. And then we go out in the world and it's bright green. It's a bright red bus. Still center framing, but everything's a little bit bigger. So right off the bat, we're getting this sense that he's melancholy, that there's this kind of feeling of, things aren't quite coming together. When he wakes up, his rolls to his side, he's not like, good morning, world. It's me when I wake up and have forgotten to set the timer on my coffee pot. So I know I've got to go wait 5 minutes before I can feel joy or happiness from my coffee. I don't have a problem. I'm fine. But I like that visual language. There's also a feeling of, I don't think this was shot on film, but I'm not entirely sure. It feels like it's emulating film. Aspect ratio, it almost feels like it could be a home video kind of feel, but it's definitely not. It's shot on a very high-grade camera. But there does have this, that's good English. There is this sense of film emulation of, there's a movie I'm trying to think of that this is reminding me of, and it's not Past Lives, which is there is a degree of Past Lives in this, I think, which is my favorite movie of last year, I think. I love that movie. I'm trying to think of what it is. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, I don't know. But there is this sense of a more timeless camera style, camera strategy that's being used here, and kind of a film stock feel to it. And it can be emulated on a digital camera, but they want you to feel that, I don't have the word for it. We're just going to keep going and pretend, I could cut that out, but here we are. Let's just be authentic in this moment. I don't know what I was trying to say. Here we go.
You're in my hand. I had plans for the weekend.
Seeing all the couples.
Wonder with you instead. Back here again. Got me deep in my feelings, where I should be in your bed. You and I go back to like all night. It's like forever. And you let my loneliness, yeah, keeping me together. So
Makes you wonder what the audition for this video was like. Hi, my name is Cedric Yeagle, and today I'll be auditioning for the role of Mini Mart person in V's music video for Friends. Friends. Hey. Fun fact, I really wanted to use my Jimin fans for this, but I forgot I nailed them to the wall because they kept falling down and scaring me, especially in the middle of the night when I could hear them from the other room. So didn't do that. Instead I had to kiss old Billy Shakes. Call that Shakespeare in love. I'm William Shakespeare. Something rotten. Nice to meet some of you at the stage door for that. Anyway, back to the video. No, so it's, I referenced Past Lives. And there is a scene in that where, this isn't spoilers for the film, but there's two people that have known each other a long time and are sort of kind of in love. They're in love with the idea of each other, if not each other. And they're walking out toward a pier, and everywhere else on the pier there are couples. And then it's the two of them. And that's a fun juxtaposition. Funny comedic beat from V when he does this glance to the right of this like, oh, is this real right now? Is this what I'm seeing? I don't know if it's a breakup or if he's in love with someone, but I haven't been single for a long time, but I remember that feeling of being like, everybody's got somebody and it's not me, right? So I like that he's got that feeling. The world is bright and popping and full of color. Everyone's wearing bright blue and bright green and bright red, and their hair is all exciting, and they're wearing makeup, and they're in love, and the world is colorful and beautiful, and then his is like, meh. Right? And there's a fun like, there's a nice energy to the orchestration too, but he's more pulled back in the vocal. So we're getting all of that. Also, he said, you and I go back to like 2009, and in my head I was like, oh, so like 5 years? And then I was like, oh no, that was 15 years ago. That's one of those moments where you're like, I don't like that. I don't like that math. I like what they're doing here. I like that there's a nice kind of underlying comedy to this. There's a bit of a Wes Anderson feel to the whole thing. But when I talk about that film emulation too, there's a nice glow where you get the hot spots with the light. You're seeing that glow off people's skin. It's kind of got this romantic feeling, which only isolates him more as a result because he is alone.
Wouldn't it make sense if I was yours and you could call me your baby? But we say we're just
Even in the kitchen.
Yeah, but friends don't say words that make friends feel like more than just friends. Just for now. Now I'm over pretending, so let's put the friends.
Nice. Okay, so I'm gonna be listening to this song a lot. I love this a lot. I love the slow zoom out shot. There's a real strength and subtlety in acting, and I've talked about this before, but it can be very funny when you just do nothing. And this zoom out of him just staring into the camera with the burger in front of him is great. And also really sad when you think about it. There is that feeling of like, man, what do I have to do? Like, why do we have to just be friends? And there is power in that I really love, and I love seeing that sense. I wonder if there's a reason that, like, when we see the restaurant sign, it's offset, but we're seeing red and blue. They're very deep colors. It's deeply felt. There's a lot of shadow in the scene. Everything is surreal. Everything feels like a dream in this. They're not playing in the realm of reality with the lighting, with the color scheme. Everything is as a sense of perspective. Everything is not enough and too much. And that is kind of what he's talking about too, that being friends is too much for him to handle because of his feelings and not enough for him to handle because of his feelings. So we're getting a bit too much shadow, a bit too much light. There's too many people, and yet there's not enough people because there should be one more and they should be with him. There's, all of that's playing really well. And also keep an eye out for vertical lines in the frame that just keep us centered in where we should be looking, that ground us, and that play up that feeling of comedy, that play up that feeling of movement, because the camera's not moving in this. It's static shots, but there's a sense of movement because of all the lines that we're getting in frame that are telling us where to look, directing our eyes, giving us a sense of movement. There's that visual language that exists within cinema. And even though the camera's not moving, don't mistake that for a lack of movement. There is that, and it is, that the cutting on the beats, boom, 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 friends, right? There's that. That's movement. That's adding energy in it that also still isolates him. If you look at where people are placed in those cutaway shots, and then where he is, there's a continued flow to all of that that's going very well with the rise and fall of energy in the song itself.
Yeah, but friends don't say words that make friends feel like more than
Move, man! Bro, what is going on? So if you look at the change in lighting, even though the exact frames are the same, it all feels a little bit less cramped now, doesn't it? Because it's feeling a little bit brighter, it's feeling more full. There's a different juxtaposition of the colors that exist in frame. He's wearing white that's bouncing more light around the room as well. The blue is kind of absorbing light. So now that he's got someone with him, even the apartment he's in feels more like a part of the world that we just saw. I also want to talk about how absolutely insane that section of this video was. What is going on? Looks at the car, the guy sees him and just doesn't stop, runs him over, and then everyone's making out on the car. I'm sorry, that is so funny, and it's meant to be funny, and also, again, sad. There's humor in the melancholy, and I don't know if that implies that it was a dream, or if they are friends with benefits, and he's saying like, oh, I don't like this. Like, his world is brighter when she's not there. All he can think about is her. She's not defining things the way he wishes she would. I don't know necessarily what's going on there, but I love the use of visual language to implement that, and I'm still just loving everything about this song. I think this is hilarious. They absolutely got me with that. This is great. This is great. Nice jump
I'm not
cuts.
supposed to get too close to feel emotions that we're feeling now. We're gonna slow it down. Yeah. But once we cross the line, there's no denying you, and I can never turn around. No, we'll never be the same. You and I go back to like all night, it's like forever. And you were that my loneliness, yeah, keeping me together. So wouldn't it make sense if I was yours and you could call me your baby?
Yeah, so now we're getting this feeling of, oh, when things are good with us, everyone else looks worse. Like, they don't understand what we have. They don't have what we have. Now I don't know if he's saying this is because of the lack of commitment that they can be this chill about it. He's saying, friends aren't supposed to feel what we feel. As she redefined the relationship, but the things that seemed so perfect before don't feel as perfect now in the world around them. And maybe that's also an indictment on like Instagram culture, social media culture, where everything's got to look perfect all the time because we don't air our dirty laundry. But, now that he's back in the convenience store, everyone seems decidedly inconvenienced, right? So on the bus, we're seeing the same couples that were so perfectly in love before are all arguing now. We're seeing the waitresses argue. We're seeing everything start to shift around him, even though most of the lighting's still the same. I thought maybe they'd shift the lighting when I saw things start to go wrong. But even that surrealist expectation of the world hasn't changed. And I actually wonder if it's stronger that it hasn't with the way that the lighting is, with this kind of film emulation that we're getting. It almost feels stronger that it is the same, because this is now, I wonder is this their perfect world versus like if it got gloomy, like it would be maybe a bit too on the nose. I don't know. Is the ketchup bottle? Yeah, the ketchup bottle's just like spilling.
But we say we're just
That's creepy.
friends just for now. Yeah, but friends don't say words that make friends feel like more than just friends just for now. Now I'm over pretending, so let's put the
All I can think about with that frame is when we do scenes like that, and then you have to reset for the next take, and they have to sweep up all that popcorn and that napkin or broken plate or whatever it was that was flying around. You have to reset all of that, so you do it in as few takes as possible. So shout out to the production designers for this, who make this possible. Lots of points to you. I'm loving the mirroring of these images too. When we talk about visual language, I love that this is basically the same story told twice, but how different it is when she's there.
Hey, yes, it's called Rashomon storytelling. It was made famous by Akira Kurosawa in his film Rashomon and was most recently used in pop culture to the most significant and famous degree by Rian Johnson in Star Wars The Last Jedi, as Kylo Ren and Luke tell different sides of the same story. So I don't know why I didn't say that. I was definitely thinking it, but there you go, Rashomon storytelling.
I also just love how well balanced a lot of these frames are. This is some very intentional framing and filmmaking, and I think that that's fantastic. It's kind of trying to pull in this kind of 50s feeling too. There's a bit of an American Graffiti type of sense to it, I think. Not in terms of the shot style, but the production design that I really like. And now they're all arguing instead of trying to help.
Yeah.
Huh. is the idea here, this feels like it may be a stretch, but this is what I think I'm going to go with. That he's got to be comfortable with himself. That he can't define himself by whether or not he's with this other person. He has got to know who he is and be like cool with himself before that can become anything more, or should become anything more. Maybe, I don't know. This was subtly very, very funny. And also, I think something that I'm going to have to think about for a while, because there is that sense of he's clearly not comfortable just with himself in the first half of it. And then he's very comfortable with her, but either way, it ends the same way, right? So is it that he has to, there's a sort of Groundhog Day feel to it, that he has to learn to be cool with himself before anything else can change. And maybe that's why, you know, this person that he wants to be more than friends with won't pursue that. I don't know. I think that that is something for people to think about and for me to think about. And maybe I've left a lot of thoughts, and maybe I think I'm an idiot as I'm editing this. I probably do, just knowing myself. I think that this was great. I think the song's a bop. I think the video is super well made. It's another great performance from V. And more than anything, I really enjoyed it. And I do think that's something that he wants you to take from this as you're watching it. So, yeah. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Please drink lots of water. It's good for the body. Get lots of sleep. Fix your postures. Be well. And until next time, bye.